Gray. Welcome to South East Today. Good evening. A scaffolder from Ramsgate says a devastating workplace accident meant he was unable to hold his newborn son. Stephen Gilmore has been warned by doctors he may need to undergo several amputations after an electric shock. You might find some of the images in Charlie Rose's report distressing.
It's literally turned my whole life upside down. Little jobs I can't do. I can't dress so I can put shorts, t-shirt on. Anything with buttons, I can't do.
Stephen Gilmore's life-changing injuries are the result of a powerful electric shock, which happened at work.
I was handed a scaffold tube, lifted it up, leant it backwards, hit a power line. So I was electrocuted, which then threw me off of a roof. 6 metres, I hit the floor pretty hard, knocked myself out.
Stephen says he woke up to see smoke coming from his legs and hands. He now faces having most of his fingers amputated.
I can't hold knives and forks. You know, it's been massive. Even like my son, he's nearly 2. I couldn't pick him up for 7-8 months when he was first born because he was so tiny and I've got no feeling in my hands.
Workplace injuries are a big problem. 680,000 were reported by employees last year, according to official data, resulting in 4.4 million working days lost. The previous year, the problem cost individuals, businesses and the economy £6.5 billion. But the cost to Stephen is immeasurable. He says just before the accident, his concerns about the site in Crawley were dismissed.
A couple of previous days to my accident, I did actually turn around and say to the boss, look, are we too close? Which I was told no. But that wasn't the case, obviously.
If someone had stopped and thought logically for a moment or perhaps considered and properly risk assessed, no one in their right mind would erect a scaffold 2 metres away from the main power source for the local area. So it can be simply avoided by taking the time and being diligent.
It's not just affected me, it's affected my whole family.
Now Stephen says he wants to use his experience for the benefit of others and bring about improvements in health and safety to the construction industry. Charlie Rose, BBC South East Today.
Next, 2 men from Sussex have been jailed for smuggling cocaine into Bali. Keil Garth Robinson and Piran Ezra Wilkinson were sentenced to 11 years in prison and fined £45,000. Now, the scale of illegal waste dumping across the southeast has been branded gobsmacking by a senior politician. During a visit to Hodes Wood near Ashford, the chair of the House of Lords Environment Committee condemned the criminals who dumped 30,000 tonnes of waste there in 2023. A massive clean-up operation is now underway. Yvette Austin has the story.
8 months into the clean-up of Hodes and most of the 30,000 tonnes of illegally dumped waste has gone. But what's left is a giant scar on the landscape. The case of the desecrated site of special scientific interest has moved the whole issue of large-scale illegal waste dumping further up the political agenda over the past year, with the House of Lords Committee on Environment and Climate Change calling for a root and branch review into how it's handled. So I was keen to show its chair, Baroness Sheehan, how the area looks now.
This was the access that the criminals were using. This is protected ecosystem, it's fragile, and to see it desecrated like this is just appalling. I very much hope that there will be safeguards in place to make sure this can't happen again.
Heading into the wood for a closer look, Environment Agency contractors began the £15 million clearance in July last year after a long campaign by local residents and conservationists who've been highly critical of the agency for not stopping the dumping sooner.
The brazenness with which these criminals act is just gobsmacking, actually. We're asking for the government to get tough on these crime gangs to make sure that the criminals are caught and that they have a meaningful penalty imposed on them. Unlimited fines And prison sentences up to 5 years are available to the Environment Agency for these crimes.
There are, of course, multiple huge dumping sites across the country. The Environment Agency says it does work, together with the police and local authorities, to shut them.
We have got dedicated resource, and specialist skills enabling us to tackle these sorts of issues. And when we become aware of these sites, we do have to assess them on a case-by-case basis, and they're all different in their nature. So we are taking action to shut them down quicker, and we will continue to do that.
3 people were arrested a year ago in connection with this site, but no one has yet been prosecuted, and conservationists are calling for assurances that the wood will be restored. Yvette Austin, BBC South East Today, Hoadswood.
Now Rachel has the weather.
Good evening. Well, after the warmth and sunshine of yesterday, what a day. A bit of a bump back to reality. Lots of cloud around, and of course it has been feeling a little bit cooler. Still relatively mild for the time of year, and over the next couple of days there's going to be more cloud. It's feeling cooler, and temperatures once again around 10 or 11 degrees. Waiting in the wings as we head into tonight. We've got this band of rain. We start the evening initially dry. The winds are going to be picking up, the cloud cover thickening. And again, it's going to be very mild pitch. Despite all that rain, overnight temperatures for the most part staying in double figures, 9 or 10 degrees as we start the day for Friday. A bit of a soggy start then to Friday. That rain clears out of the way round about lunchtime, and then behind it, fingers crossed, we start to see some breaks in that cloud cover. Temperatures quite similar to today, highs there around 11 or 12 degrees.
Okay, that's all from the late team tonight. Kate will be back with the breakfast news in the morning. Thanks very much for watching. Good night.